are listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof On Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof On Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You are listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is the last day of January. Jesus Christ. I said January. July 31st, 2023. It's January again. I'm glad you guys can make it. You know what's weird? Everything. I don't understand what's going on. Since I started taking this rejuvenation medicine, my hairs have been coming in like crazy. Like they go bing, ding, boom. Like I have I'm not wearing my watch. I have no control over the hairs anymore. I try to brush them down. They go bing. I don't know. They're getting thicker and richer. But tonight, I'm glad you're here, because what is today? What's today? Is it Tuesday? No, it's Monday. It's Monday. You know what that means? 9 to 5ers. The work week's almost over already. All right. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Feels like a Wednesday usually, right? Goes fast. Wednesday, everybody hump day, and you're in a good mood all day. Hump day. Thursday comes, you're like, oh, tomorrow's Friday. That day goes by like Tuesday. It has no feel. Tuesdays and Thursdays have zero feel. But Friday, when that comes, that's the longest day of the week, I know. But it's going to feel like 4 hours instead of 6. You're going to have a good week this week, my 9-to-5ers. In and out, 40 hours, you're done. But you're spending a few hours here with us tonight to talk about this. The false threat narrative is a lie. And Knapp says Lazar, what'd I say? Not truthful? What? Yes, Lazar was not truthful. I've got so much show that I'm going to try my best to not ruin it by talking. Just play every clip I have and read every sentence that's written and no boppity-boppity like this. So we're going to go real quick today. Tonight? I was going to say today again. It's January again, everybody. It's freezing outside. Actually, today was nice. Showers, thunderstorms all day. They just ended about an hour ago. I fell asleep in the middle of the day. I was supposed to go back to T-Mobile and fix my bill. It's $30 too much from what they promised me. Well, we can remove this. I'm like, nah, you don't remove shit. Everything here for what you quoted me. Not $30 more, not 30 cents more, not 3 cents more. When can you do this by? Well, my manager's on a meeting call. And I go, I'll be back. Actually, I didn't say it like that. I said it. I kind of said it like this, actually. I'll be back. And he freaked out. Welcome to the show, everybody. Brett S. Welcome to the show with a $10. We round up here at Goof On with the $10 super dono. Thank you, mucho gusto, generoso. Brett S. did it before Jeanette, the angel of Goof On. Hey, Brett, thank you very much, man. That's kudos, man. I mean, seriously, thank you for the support. Can't thank you guys enough. And if you want to support Goof On, because we are supported by you, Super Chat, Super Sticker, PayPal, Cash App. You know what to do. All the links are in the show description, even on the homepage of Goof On, right here on YouTube. Jeanette, thank you very much. It's a super dono. Wait, Brett's was too. Hey, look, they changed the circle at the bottom. It used to be more circular. Now it's more tic-tac shaped. See what they're trying to do? They're trying to let us see tic-tac shapes everywhere. Look, here's another one. Jeanette has it too. They used to be circular. Remember? We can go back on an old show. I mean, yesterday, I think they just changed that. That's something I know. I notice weird things like that. Jeanette, thank you very much. As always, a continuing supporter of Goof On. And I think, I'm not forgetting, I think you, no, that was yesterday. Thank you very much. All right, let's get a little bit of quick roll call in tonight, and we'll get this show on the road. Hey, Sapphire Elf's here. How you doing? Welcome to the show. FAP. I almost said FAQ. See, I'm back to smoking again. Maybe I'll quit. No, I'm serious. I was actually okay when I didn't smoke. Kind of liked it, actually. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to stop again for a little bit. I'm not going to smoke as much. I'm more clear. Maybe I had to do that to realize that again. Ben, the Yorkshire Gaffonian. How you doing, Chief? Welcome to the show. Hey, Mind Forked. Howdy doody, fresh and fruity. Good to see you here on the Goof On. A Goofonian. And Alien Girlian. And Grandmaster UV. Hey, man, it's been a minute. How you been? Good to see you. I am having an out-of-body experience. Have you ever had that? Of course you have. Who am I talking to? I feel like I'm not here all of a sudden. I feel like somebody's doing this for me. I'm not normal. Easy. Bad Boy Channel, how you doing? I'll forget. Once the show goes, I'll start acting like myself again. Hey, Moonlicked, welcome to the show. Good to see you, Chief. Sick. How are you? Is it? I bet you your name is Seek. Search and seek and destroy. Sven, welcome to the show. Bob Perkins, welcome to the show. Mr. Wilcox, not Wilcox. How you doing, David? Welcome to the show. All right, let's get going. Michelle, how you doing? Diane, the boss of Goof On. Samantha Morris, the kitty cat. How you doing? Great to see everybody. Sky Allen's here. How you doing? All right, let's get going. Intergalactic Angler and Renee Cruzan. How can I forget Samo, Goofonian, Rockstar? And the AG, Triple Ones, Star Child, Big Mama, Richie's wife, Richie's ex-wife, Richie's no wife. We were never married more than once. I made up that rumor. I was looking for attention. Wild Ascension. You're looking for attention. How you doing there, lady bird of you? How are you making the rounds on the UFO channel? Oh, that's a horrible accent. I should never do that again. FGraph 72. How are you? Grandpa Irv is Van Helton or Von Helton. I thought it said Van Halen at first, and then I caught myself halfway through, and I wound up getting half of the name right. I don't think he'll be showing up much here. No, I didn't block him. We just had an argument. He thinks he sees you. He sends me a video, and he says, this is amazing, ba-ba-da-ba-da, you know, all that hype. And there's real far away, a dot. Like, could have been a light post, a street lamp, an airplane. There were no flashing lights, but the object, the light turned off. And then it turned on. And then the video ended. And he was talking to it. And he's like, can you show me that you're Dr.? And all of a sudden, thank you for turning your light off. I'm like, dude, who you talking to with this garbage? Do you know there are street lamps out there that have timers on them so the lights go off? It's like a conveyor of energy. It's I can't think of the name. What it's not conversion, but you usually see one street light going out, coming back on, right? We all see them around our neighborhoods. I don't know where you live, but it was like that where I grew up in New York. It was like that in Arizona. And in Florida, I see them in neighborhoods that are close together, like at my parents'. And I email him back, and I said, bro, I don't know what that is. That could be anything, just being honest, you know? And very nice, very cordial. Never was once mean until I had to be. And then he lashed out, and he says, you're just negative. You don't want to believe that. You don't think that that's a UFO. I'm like, it's a dot in the distance that flashed and then, or turned off once and then turned back on. And you want me to believe you're talking to that light? And he came back and he just went off. And I said, some foul-weathered words, like the best I could come up with at the time. Let's just say that. I haven't seen him since. So that's what happened, Grandpa Irv. Hey, Donovan, how you doing, man? Helen, hi. All right, let's get started. So you see this behind me. Obviously, I don't know if you guys follow Stephen Greenstreet on Twitter, but I took his little thumbnail that he made and I added some things to it and made it my own. But I thought it was a very nice. Up here, it used to say, what did it say? Tell us the truth or something like that. So I just covered that part up. But you can see the players that are giving us what I believe to be a false narrative. Why would I believe that? Well, there's a lot of reasons why any of us would believe a false UFO narrative is happening at the moment. And one of the reasons is lack of evidence. Now, I can't sit here every night and say I'm happy with this drip disclosure, because I'm not. Now, I've been in it, you know how long, a couple of decades, so I'm a little more impatient than the regular dude. But even the people I see that came in when TTSA came in are acting a little bit impatient and are kind of asking now, where's the evidence? And why are we listening to hearsay? So I'm happy that people are aware how careful the government is allowing Grush to be, how orchestrated it is. And in September, there's supposed to be another congressional hearing on UFOs with whistleblowers, but nobody talked about evidence yet. Maybe the location of the bodies, we still don't know. That went into the skiff, remember? So I see something that's so frustrating that I can't help but think it's a false threat narrative again. Not that it ever left. It took a year off. They when Lou left, the threat, and with the addition of the Arrow office, the threat was over. They got what they wanted. But they've rebooted it about 11 months later, and we're talking about a threat. And they keep bringing up the nuclear silos and missile silos, you know, and nuclear bases and stuff of dangerous worth to the lives in the United States and abroad. And do you know all those years, all those incidences that happened, we never saw any evidence of anything being over a missile range or silo or anything nuclear. We've only heard stories. So I want you to imagine why there's no video evidence, satellite evidence, no evidence ever that UFOs have ever been, other than the words of supposed whistleblowers, creating a false threat narrative. Now, this narrative goes all the way back to the very first congressional hearing. What was it, 55? So this isn't anything new. It's the way they get their funding. And when I say they, I mean the people in the military. And people like Lou, see, that's why they're only talking to the military. They don't want to talk to civilians just yet. This is a military/political movement right now that is being pushed forward at breakneck speed, because once this administration is gone, if it leaves, if Biden loses and Republicans get in, it might as well say goodbye to a lot of the funding, because if it's Trump or DeSantis that gets in, they're going to cut funding on all they think is unnecessary. And I'm not sure this is going to fall in that range, but it all depends on what the real narrative is behind the scenes. Like, why is the government doing this now? Well, I just answered the question. But there might be another answer. We may be on the precipice. Is it precipice? Is that how you say it? Of a world-changing paradigm shift spiritually and possibly physically. And that's because if the aliens are really here, and this is all about disclosure and getting us used to the idea that these objects are flying around, there's bodies, which means pilots, which means couldn't be us, so it's something else. They're maybe laying the groundwork for that. And I could be wrong. I don't think I am. Huh? So there's a lot. Oh my God, there's so much fighting going on everywhere. Everybody's arguing. People are questioning Grush. No, I know it's Grush, but people are still mispronouncing his name, so I did it. People are not happy with Ross Cuckold. They're not happy with Corbell. People feeling sorry for good old Squishy Knapp. The poor guy got squished in that 2-hour thing. Poor guy. All right, so let me go down the line here and show you some things that I think we need to talk about. Tim Pool. You know Tim Pool, popular, what is he on? Twitter? Popular Twitter guy? He says in 100 years, they will write about the failing U.S. government's attempt to distract people by claiming aliens were here. Well, I couldn't let him just say that without commenting, but I see now there's a lot of comments, and I doubt mine will be able to be found. But I did say, Tim, you have no idea what you're talking about. This has nothing to do with aliens. You need to talk to me. Da, 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 da. So hopefully he'll reach out. Let me see if he did. No. Oh. Shell shock. Oh. So I thought that was interesting. You know, Tim Pool, he's got a big voice, and a lot of people believe what he says. He's like a he'll be the next Alex Jones if he isn't already. So I couldn't let him get away with just saying that. To write about the failing U.S. government's attempt. See, they're not distracting people. This isn't a distraction of anything at all. Wait, you mean to tell me 2.5 hours on a Tuesday or whenever they did that thing, that was distraction? That got everybody distracted and so, disillusioned with reality. We couldn't think of what was going on in Russia. I kept thinking about aliens all day long. I was so distracted. Give me a break. I hate when people say that. I used to say that. Now I don't, if you haven't noticed. Because it isn't that. If it was that, I would say it. 15 years ago, it was a distraction about things. Now, there's an agenda here. There's an agenda. Huh? I keep hearing my own voice. All right, next. Come on. I think I need a new mouse. I have an extra one. All right. I saw this on Alien Girl show this morning, so I figured I'll play it. It's AOC. This is going to be very hard for me to watch, so I'm going to get up and get a drink while this plays, because it's 2 minutes almost. Now, we'll stop it here and there, but I got to get a drink. I can't watch her more than 5 seconds in a row. My head starts to hurt. All right. A little history and context to highlight the UFO-related comments AOC recently made. Actually, as much as I'm disappointed in her, she did pretty good. She was very good at asking simple questions at the UFO hearing. Giddy up.
Now, why this? Why is this happening right now?
Pay attention, because she's just about to talk about you.
This is a story of organizing. I don't know what to tell you. People may want to be cynical about that, but truly, there are a lot of people in this country who are very interested in this topic, and there has been increasing pressure and organizing that transcends party lines.
I think what AOC is hinting about is what I believe is the difference between this current push for disclosure and attempts of the past. Previous efforts included a small but dedicated group of individuals that were swinging swords of truth in an attempt to kill the cover-up.
I didn't realize that Dan Warren was in this. Now I understand it. I thought it was just her talking. Damn it.
This time, it's different. We, the people, are leveraging the power of social media, and the pressure it applies to the cover-up is slowly resulting in a death by 1,000 cuts. The masses have been engaged, and engaging the masses is the fifth pillar of emphasis in the plan that Lou Elizondo and Chris Mellon put together years ago.
And then the fifth pillar is engaging the masses, engaging people, and that is critically important.
Gee, hey, are they engaging people? No. Who? Everybody's military. That doesn't count. No. I know they didn't say public, they said people. See? This is such horseshit on another level of HS.
So AOC, can you please inform the masses of what reactions have occurred due to these grassroots actions?
And that has resulted in the inclusion of several UAP disclosure requirements that Congress included in past defense authorizations.
Oh my God, she has no idea what she's even saying. She's just reading what's on the teleprompter in front of her. It's so obvious she even took a few tests and read it before she went live. You can tell. I just know it because I do it.
In the inclusion of several UAP
I don't have a teleprompter, though.
Disclosure requirements that Congress included in past.
She doesn't know anything about the history of ufology. Oh, they've been doing this in the past. Like, you don't even know anything about American history or the Constitution.
Defense authorizations. And so there have actually been task forces that were mandated by Congress in recent years. And there's.
Oh, yeah, like she knows. She doesn't know. She's as dumb as the day is LONG.
More legislation this year. And there have also been mandated disclosure that has really been the first of its kind in a long time.
And all the.
No, I can't. I just, nope. Nope. I think that was it. She shouldn't. See what I mean? You see what I mean? How it's all false. Like, she doesn't know shit. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Ask her. Hey, what happened in 1980, December 24th? Christmas Eve? That's what she would say. Yeah, that's what happened. That's right. She's right. Wow, I didn't see these guys. Bernie throwing down $2 at 7:14 p.m. That's a $2 super dono. The best. It's the B Muro. Super duper hour. It's B Muro. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. If I didn't have so much to go over, I would spend a little more time thanking you. Diane the boss. I sent Tucker a message to come on your show. That was you? Are you serious? I'm kidding. Nothing happened. I haven't heard back. Did you tell him to email me at goofonradio@gmail.com? That goes all over TC. Thanks, Diane. Thank you for doing that, by the way. You're amazing. That's cool. See, we need everybody to do that. If everybody could write Tucker Carlson, I'll find the email here and say, you need to have this guy on your show about the UFO narrative. It's all wrong. He knows everything. I'll claim it. I'll be like Greer, but know nothing. Yeah. Greer knows a lot more than I thought. That guy's insane. Dorothy Hawkins. Dorothy! The $5 super dono. It's pure love here at GoofOn. It's pure insanity and love. Because you guys understand. You guys know what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to show truthology for ufology. Something like that. If we had evidence, even just a little, I would think maybe this could be about disclosure. But so far, not even a shadow. I'm not counting that dot, that 0.8 tenths of a second dot they showed on the first congressional. They'll never do that again, I bet, right? Thanks, Dorothy. Monkey Man with the super sticker of $3. Mucho gusto, generoso. How you been? 2 M's are better than 1. Monkey Man. Thanks, man. Monkey Man. What would a monkey man, like, instead of, like, if I can't, like, I wouldn't say bro, right? What would I say? Mo? Hey, Mo! Monkey Man. Hey, Mo! That's what I would say to you. Hey, Mo. Oh, man. Thanks, Monkey Man. Moonlicked. 234. Thank you very much. What colors do the nappy stress balls come in? Blue. Nah. It was an easy one. You gave me the hint, the color of the donation. That's what gave me the idea for blue balls. Oh. Ha, that's even funnier. I wasn't even thinking blue balls. Tell me, what other show in ufology would even have those two words together right now? Nobody. That's what makes you Goof On special. Because we're not worried about it. If you can't enjoy just a little bit of fun for a little bit of a second, in a world that's so gosh darn stressful and everybody tries to be perfect, right? Isn't it how it is in this field? People are afraid to joke around. You will not be credible if you joke around. What? No. Wait. So lying is better than joking, I guess? Well, if you're a good liar. But laughing is laughing. I mean, come on. People don't know if you're making fun of them or lying about making fun of them. Either way, a laugh's a laugh. A lie could be look like the truth. Huh. Actually, a good point. Johnny D throwing down $2. Says, hey there, goof on a lot of BS. Yeah, it really is. I'm going to show you a lot of it coming up right now. Thank you, everybody. Johnny D, good to see you too. Everybody, thank you very much. I can't say it enough. Mucho gusto, generoso, goofonians. You guys are the best. And don't forget to tip. Oh, wait. $10 just came in. Oh, wow. From Lisa Sorensen? On PayPal, of all places. Well, thank you, little lady. I wish I could see you. Oh, by the way, I can't fix it. You might have to just make up another account on YouTube. That is just, she's the only person that we know of who isn't blocked that I can't see, but you guys can see her. I can't see her. So weird. If she was here, I'd say hi every night. She's one of my favorite people. It's not fair. So she'll have to make up another YouTube account. I can't fix it. Whoa! This just came in from, I knew the ringtone. I said it's special for you. Jeanette Angel throwing down $12.31 on PayPal as well. Thank you, ladies, on the PayPal. Ladies on the PayPal. Never seen anything so beautiful than a $sign from her kind. She went on the PayPal. She threw down the $10. I have nothing to rhyme. I can't think. See, I can't smoke. It's over. No more. I'm done. I am. I really am. All right. So Stephen Greenstreet, I thought this was fun. I love this guy. One of my favorite people in the field. I can't get enough of him. I could watch this guy rip everybody to pieces. On May 26th, he says, I call David Grush. I know it's Grush, but you know what I mean. And Grush answered, I introduced myself. He hung up on me. June 5th, David Grush's story was rushed into publication due to Grush getting threatening phone calls and the worry that someone else might publish something first. Leslie Keene on why she rushed out David Grush's story in the debrief on June 5th instead of the Washington Post. And he was starting to get threatening phone calls. And he became, well, we were worried about his safety, and I think he was too. Leaking it, so we didn't know what might go next. And Leslie Keene continues saying, we also thought our story could be undermined by someone else writing something else that maybe didn't have legs we had. So we just felt a lot of pressure to do it quickly that moment. Let me tell you something. That is such horse shh. He's exclusive, right? So they were worried someone else was going to break the story. Okay. So if I'm hearing this correctly, it's not about UFOs. It's about getting the most clicks and views. Who gives a shit if somebody broke that story open? So what? It wouldn't have damaged it. He still would have come out, did the interview in a timely manner. Everything would have been fine. This paranoid horse crap story. That makes me think it's not about UFOs and aliens. It's about careers. And these guys are solidifying their careers. Because they're doing something for the government. And we think they're going against the government. They're helping them. I'm not being gullible. I'm not. I thought this was about disclosure, but it's not. I thought it might be a few weeks ago. But after all the bullshit that's going on in this field and the way people are talking about how terrible Grush is and that he's just living in a fantasy land and listening to Greer and Stratton and all these other people all on that side. It makes sense. It makes sense why there's a little dissension going on right now, because it doesn't look good. And people are embarrassed about what's happening. They really are. July 17th, I'll continue with Green Street here. I emailed former Pentagon Skinwalker Ranch investigator, blah, 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 at Jayborn, and asked to speak to him about his work on ATIP and his thoughts on current UAP legislation. He did not respond. I've since learned that I'm the only one that has reached out to him. My email to him is here. Oh. Can I speak to you on background about your experience working for ATIP and get your thoughts on current UAP legislation? Thanks. Wow. You were just terrible. You're a terrible person, Green Street. How dare you ask? July 29th. At Jayborn tweets that he helped former Pentagon UAP Task Force Director Jay Stratton chase ghosts at Skinwalker Ranch, and that he's coming out to get ahead of a major league dox being orchestrated against him. Here we go again. Here they go again. Somebody's out to get me. I gotta talk about it. I mean, give me a break. It's the old Bob Lazar routine. Oh, I'm gonna go out public. I'm gonna go on KLSJ TV and I'm gonna tell the world my story so nobody kills me. I love these guys, man. If they wanted you gone, you'd be gone. You understand? These are professionals, and they would make it look like a suicide. And then your family would be like, oh, he was a little fucked up, you know? I mean, they're going to say shit like that. They're going to say that about me. He did have a temper. I mean, anybody could have hated him. All right, next. J.I. Bourne says, I was Jay Stratton's teammate that night. He can confirm. The threat at Skinwalker was legitimate. I was an OG member of ATIP, working for the IC as an active duty naval officer, as a published novelist. I could have written a few books about all of this, but chose not to. I'm coming out on at X to get ahead of the major league docs being orchestrated against me. I will not be releasing Jay Bourne's real name since he states he'd like to come forward on his own. I will respect that. I look forward to hearing his story. Me too. Me too. Me too. Next. We've heard it all before, says Paranormal Chris on Twitter. Paranormal Quiz? Paranormal Quiz on Twitter? I have no idea. We're hunting rabbits. Embarrassing. I told you I've got the Bidenisms. There, you can come up with a whole slew of bullshit. All right, check this out. 5. Damn it, I thought I could see it. 4, 3. It's not a video. 2. I don't know why I'm counting down. We've heard it all before. Grush's Elizondo 2.0. Similar backgrounds with the same stories. Mysterious metamaterials which could come from crashed alien spacecraft are being stored by the American government, according to a former military intelligence official. Luis Elizondo, who headed up the Defense Intelligence Agency Secret Advanced Aerospace ATIP, said that the objects were stored in specially modified warehouses in George Knapp's garage. The warehouse, run by aerospace billionaire Robert Bigelow, is under armed guard and fortified with concrete and barbed wire, the Sunday Times reported. Don't you think it's silly to have the barbed wire if it's fortified in concrete? I'll put barbed wire in case they somehow drill through 10 feet of concrete and nobody notices. Schmucks. Jason Colavito said this about that thing I just showed you. He says, I know where the metamaterials from the crash saucer are stored too, Luis Elizondo told the Sunday Times back in 2018. It was almost certainly just more of the various pieces of industrial waste routinely mistaken for alien objects in UFO circles. Shut off! See? Silliness. Next. Secretive Pentagon group might have covered up aliens for decades. Why are people acting like this is the first time they've heard this? I didn't know. I'm new. Oh, that's got to be it. They're all new. They're all new. I mean, it's so stupid to even have that as a story. Look at this. Look at it. Come on. Oh, it didn't open up. Shit. Here we go. Hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2, go. Yeah, look. What is this? Get out of here. The Covert Intelligence Group Covering Up UFOs. New documentary lifts lid on Collins Elite, secret Pentagon group that believe craft buzzing around in our skies are demonic. I know, Chickie. I know. Don't get scared, girls. A film premiering next month will shine a light on secret U.S. group which UFO researchers claim is helping to cover up the discovery of alien spacecraft. The film, God vs. Aliens, has interviews with 2 experts about the Collins Elite, a supposed secretive group within the U.S. military which has helped to cover up alien abductions and crashed spacecraft since the late 1950s. Or since the 50s. I don't know why I added that. Oh, Billy, I can't believe this face right here. I just want to get a dart and throw it. Speaking to DailyMail.com, British director of the film, Mark Christopher Lee said, a lot of people know about Majestic 12, a supposed committee of military leaders and politicians interested in UFOs. It's out there in pop culture along with Area 51. But 2 of my interviewees believe that this is a smokescreen, and the real organization is the Collins Elite, based in the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Looking for a watch?
I got the one you want.
I've got the one you want.
I'd like to thank Johnny D again. A big deception is coming soon. UFOs are part of this, I know. The BINWO and more. Johnny, thank you. Appreciate that. That's interesting. It is.
Were not mechanical. They were not devices. They were not flying machines from other relatives or dimensions. They came from hell.
We haven't found the aliens so far, but when are we going to find them, if ever? And I somewhat infamously have a bet to anybody who's interested that we will find ET, evidence for ET, by 2035 or I will buy that person a cup of coffee.
Future, our AI systems might try to imitate extraterrestrial AI systems because they would be far more advanced.
Could aliens actually be from another dimension?
In the Milky Way, you might have, let's say, 12 civilizations. In Andromeda,
you can make aliens be from anywhere you want in this world. If you have a good story, right? People might believe it. Demonic, wow. If they were demonic, where's the demons? Where is that demonic presence? And I don't want to hear about, well, there was an exorcism done in Chile about a year ago, and I'm not. No. Where's the threat? How are they demonic? Well, they're very evil, very bad. They want to hurt us. They're benevolent? Huh? You know what I said. What are they? Well, they're demonic. What does that mean? It ain't good. That's all I know. Johnny D says, a big deception is coming soon. UFOs are a part of it. This I know. The BI, NWO, and more. The big, is that supposed to be big NWO? I'm not sure I understand what the BI is, but I know well, that's an interesting comment. And for one, I hope is true. And you see, you want to know why I'm really worried? Honestly. Because if aliens show up here, I have a feeling all of our monies are going to be gone. Like, everything's going to change. They're going to try this new world order crap with the alien civilization mixing in with humans. Who knows? See, they shouldn't do that, though. The aliens should find their own effing home. Okay? You're not welcome here. This is not a place for you. And I don't think it can be. I don't think that's why we see them walking around. I don't think they can survive in this atmosphere. And if they can, it's not very long. It's as if, we're going to another planet that could be close, to the atmosphere, but could be off in, 50% hydrogen or whatever, oxygen. That would make you sick. You wouldn't feel good. I don't know if you die, but there's so many things, so many diseases that are on this planet that would attach to an alien and vice versa. People forget to talk about that. That's a major part of why there's no integration. I haven't seen an alien up close. I thought I saw a guy's skin melting off one year. He said he was 3,000 years old. He sure as hell looked it. Thanks, Johnny D. Glenn Croy threw down $10 as well a few minutes ago. It's just pure love, though, and that's a lot of love. Man, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Glenn Croy, you've been continually supporting the show for a while. Just being here and that, it's pretty cool. Thank you. Appreciate you. And Johnny D, again, remember an Independence Day? Yes, I do remember. I memorized the movie. Sure. I got you now. I got you. Okay, that makes... Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and that they still had the ship just sitting there docked. Just, well, we don't know what happened. As soon as the mothership came in, this thing activated. That's pretty cool, actually, how they thought that up. I like that. Because you would think that would happen if they planted ships into the ground. Or crashed one or buried them, and then they come back a million years later. Hey, we just can't leave a Ferrari in the desert. It took a million years to come back, but that's Gino's car. What is that, an IROC over there? Yeah, Gino's Italian. IROC stands for Italian retard out cruising. All right, let's get back to Uranus. Thanks, Johnny D. You guys are awesome. You guys are incredible. Thank you. All right. Let me continue the video.
You might have a further 30. The universe is populated and we are being lied to.
Are aliens actually sending AI craft as opposed to biological life?
I mean, I think it would make people's heads explode.
What if extraterrestrials worship a totally different and unrecognizable God? What if their religion, what if their God and their religion is something that we would just regard as crazy?
Oh, you mean as opposed to the invisible man in the sky? George Carlin. So that movie sounds great. Next. All right. John Radcliffe, one of the biggest pieces of shits in the government. Really. No, I mean that with every ounce of fiber in my body. This guy is demonic. He is very bad for ufology. I don't care what he says. He is so untrustworthy. Check this out. This came from Think Tank on Twitter. Rowan Channel on there on Twitter, by the way.
3 UFO whistleblowers. They testified before the House Oversight Committee this week. Here's a bit of that. Watch.
Did you have any personal knowledge of people who have been harmed or injured in efforts to cover up or conceal these extraterrestrial technology?
Yes. Personally.
Have anyone been murdered that you would that you know of or have heard of, I guess?
I have to be careful asking that question. I directed people with that knowledge to the appropriate authorities.
Wait. So he can talk about people were hurt, but can't say if they were murdered. I guess it's a fine line between a broken arm and a broken neck. But one's a permanent injury and one isn't. Why couldn't he tell us? Anybody get murdered? I can't tell you about that, but possibly. That's how I took that answer. I want that name. See, wouldn't it be great if he said, oh, yeah, guy was Jonathan Peck. He was killed. He was murdered for knowing something about, oh, yeah. Wow. Then everybody would be looking up Jonathan Peck. Oh, he was a general. A general? They murdered a general? Oh, he got hit by a car walking down the street one day. Oh, my God. Nobody else was around. It was just an unfortunate accident. His head was completely twisted all the way around. Twice. Well, that happens, Hey, you're getting a rollover. And you're not in the car. Hey, anything can happen. All right, here we go.
Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Biologics.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human.
And was this documentary evidence, this video?
Non-human. Doesn't mean alien. I'm telling you, they were chimpanzees in Roswell. I know it.
Photos, eyewitness, like how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Skiff off.
John, you and I have spoken about this in the past. This is pretty extraordinary stuff.
I got your skiff right here.
Flying objects have been seen. Biologics have shown non-human body parts, and people may have been murdered because they tried to hide this. What can you tell us as the former director of national intelligence?
Well, Maria, you and I had a conversation more than 2 years ago about this as I left my position as the director of national intelligence. And I said, look, the government has more information than it's sharing. And that was, I thought that a report that was going to come out after I left would have more transparency, which was needed. Unfortunately, the Biden administration made the decision to really not reveal much. And now you end up with House Republicans having to have these public hearings to talk about more of this information. I will say this, I believe there should be more transparency on this issue. but not full transparency. I mean, the primary role of the federal government is to provide for the common defense. And, you know, we don't share all national security information with the American people. But the government should have done a better job of putting out some of the things that you and I talked about, that I said, look, there are things that we can't explain, and that there are more sightings than are being reported. And, you know, had the government managed this a little bit better, it wouldn't be as controversial.
Do we know where these UFOs are coming from?
Well, like I said, there's a lot of things that are unexplained. I mean, Maria, you know, I've gone to the edge of, you know, talking about information that's classified. I can't go over that line. This current administration would love nothing more than for me to trip over a classified information line. I just think that we could have put more information out to talk about all of that.
Right now is the man himself, former 3.
See, I'm confused with him. Because there, he said the right thing. But in other parts of this narrative, he's very negative. Very strange. He's like a flip-flopper when it's convenient. All right. So Knapp said Lazar was not 100% truthful. The fact that he lied about it, about where he went to school, I mean, that is problematic for me. Is it a reason to toss out the entire Bob Lazar story? If he lied about one thing, he lied about a couple of things, I'm sure. But even if he didn't, let's say he told the truth, when it's mixed in with lies, then the whole story should be discarded. Sadly. It'll be a footnote in ufology. In 100 years, Bob Lazar will be known as the guy who hoaxed, who lied. And everybody will be happy with that answer. I mean, this should discredit him. Well, you have to hear what Knapp says here. It's pretty interesting, actually. I'm actually proud that George Knapp said this. It's kind of strange for me to say that right now, but he did.
Identified him. We said we could not verify his background. And I will confide to you this. I don't believe he ever went to those schools. I don't believe Bob Lazar could get a degree from Caltech or MIT for a very simple reason. At American universities, when you get a degree, an undergraduate degree, you have to take all kinds of core courses in subjects that you may not be interested in. Literature. I cannot possibly imagine, and Anna, you know Bob, I can't imagine Bob Lazar sitting through a class in American Lit or reading poetry or something like that. He'd never stand for it. There is no way in hell that he sat through that stuff to get a degree. So what do we do? What do we do with that? Do we throw out the story? Here's how I rationalize.
Boy, Bob Lazar was one ugly dude. Yeah, I think you do throw out the story. Yeah. I think you do. Did you hear how he tried justifying why Bob may have done what he did? Because it would have been waste of time for him. But those are the things you have to do to educate yourself. And that it's supposed to really, you take those courses to open your mind and sharpen your senses a little bit. You know, think outside the box even. And Bob didn't do that. Apparently, that's why it's impossible for people to verify where he went to school.
It is Bob would not be the first person to lie about his educational credentials in order to get a good job. As his friend of a long time, I've given him the opportunity. Bob, look, come clean on this. Let me know about if it's a lie. Come clean on it. Get it behind you. And he's never given me that satisfaction of saying, yeah, it's a lie. He maintains the story. I don't know what the true story is, whether they could make his records disappear. I have found people who said he was at Caltech, who said that they remember him being on the campus, But that's not enough to make the point. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter. I don't care whether Bob Lazar went to Caltech. The fact that he would lie about it is problematic, but I don't think it's a reason to toss out the entire story, because people do lie about their background in order to get a great job.
Do you lie to the government? Here's the deal. If Bob did what he did and said what he said was all true, and he worked at S4 and all that shit, you have to blame the government for hiring a recluse guy. A recluse? Bob was so unstable, it made no sense to get him there and work on alien technology unless they wanted somebody who could think outside the box that was more or less expendable. Nobody'd miss him. Except his immediate 3 people in his life, his mother, his girlfriend, and his mistress. And the whores over at the whorehouse. We all know. But interesting to hear George Knapp to say that. You don't discredit the whole story because he lied. I get it. But it's not good. Stephen Greenstreet did it again. He has single-handedly pointed out the problem with ufology. Not only that, the people that are the problem. And here is a list of those people that revealed a small group of UFO activists have duped Congress and deceived 99.9% of the mainstream media, except for Stephen Greenstreet. He's the 1% that didn't get fooled. He's right. The guy's right. He's the only one in mainstream media, I think, telling the truth. He says they can block, but they can't hide. And I won't stop digging. They blocked him. Look, you're blocked from Sean Cahill, Christopher Mellenhead, Lou Elizondo, Brandon Ziegfugel, Travis Taylor, Cuckold, George Knapp, Ryan Graves, and Alex Dietrich. All of these grifters blocked Stephen Greenstreet. That tells a lot right there when you hide from somebody in media. All of those people are bad, very bad. Sean Cahill, we don't talk about that much, but I need to do a show about this loser because he's one of the biggest assholes that I've ever heard in ufology. He is such an asshole on every single level. From what I heard he's verbally abusive, very mean to women. I'm just telling you what I heard. I don't know if it's true because I don't know him, but that's what I've heard. From the women that he spoke with. Here's another one, another problem with ufology, and a big problem. Tim McMillan, another one of these false threat narrative supporters. And here, Paranormal Chris puts a tweet up because of a video I'm about to play you. He says, so because Lieutenant Tim McMillan from the debrief, which we call the deflate, just because he met Sean Kirkpatrick one time for a minute, he sums him up entirely. I, for one, would want to work for someone who speaks up for me and my coworkers when everyone is trashing us online. This guy is the worst. Tabloid publishing fraud. And people are waking up. to the frauds that I've been talking about since day one. People are starting to get it. And it's starting to spread like wildfire. Tim McMillan is dangerous. Very dangerous to ufology. He's fallen to the wayside a little bit lately, only because people are hip to it. But he's still dangerous because he's a liar. This guy faked a story when he was a cop about about pulling over a black person, a kid. And he said the kid was so scared. I had to talk to him. I said, "Why are you so scared?" He says, "Because you're a cop and cops kill black people." No, I told him, it's not like that. And I took him aside and I explained to him, and we became good friends. "Oh, who's the guy?" I never got his name. "How are you good friends with him?" "Well, you know what I mean." "No, I know what you said." He's a fraud. McMillan is the biggest fraud. It doesn't get any worse, other than Elizondo, Corbell, and Knapp, and all the others. But here we go.
Certainly a sentiment of...
Whoops, go back.
I'm trying to be nice here, and I don't know any other way to do it. But
You're never
there's certainly
nice.
A sentiment of there's not a lot of people like Dr. Kirkpatrick. Let me put it that way, who have worked for him, worked with him, both in the past or maybe in recently. He evidently, I don't know him personally. I've spoken only a couple of words to him, but he doesn't appear to be very likable, and so people kind of people that saw it that maybe were internally were going, standing up for us or standing up for yourself. Like, you don't give a shit about us. Like you're an asshole to us. And so that was kind of the context of that, is that, even going back to people who, when he was the director J2 intelligence at Spacecom, or when he was at MASIC, people that have worked with him are like, he just, tends to be kind of abrasive. And so that was what, there was some sentiment of, almost amusement that they felt like he was using them and their hard work to, he had to take this valiant stand when they felt like maybe at certain times their own hard work is not appreciated by him.
Very strange that a guy who supports Arrow and all that shit would talk like this. And that is typical of these people. They don't care about what anybody thinks or feels because they're going to get theirs. And he shouldn't be doing what he's doing. He's a very, very, he's just bad. He's not a good guy, not a good person, if you know what I mean. I've heard so many nightmare stories about these people. I have no idea. Tim Burchett said in a tweet, unnamed sources at the Pentagon called our hearing on the UFOs insulting. You know what's insulting to me, he says? The fact that they have never passed an audit and have lost over $1 billion of your hard-earned dollars. Oh! So listen to what this person, this Jack Boot Thug person says. Hey, Mr. Burchett, with all due respect, this drama between the two of you could have been avoided if you had just put Sean Kirkpatrick on the stand under oath next to David Grush. Why? This is the mentality of how people think in this field. Get him on the stand. Let him talk. You want the truth. He'll swear on the Bible. Yeah. An atheist swearing on a Bible in court. There you go. Well, according to UAP Mike on Twitter, he says, not shockingly, Jay King is now being targeted. Is it a coincidence that people like Jay are targeted for harassment along with others on this list provided by Lou Angeles? Nope. They are targeted for being friendly with Elizondo, probably by Lou Angeles' fanboy henchmen. I highly doubt that, UAP Mike. So I wrote, and he should be targeted for lying to the public, with all the others on that list, including but not forgotten Corbell and Knapp as the new disinfo agents of ufology. Anytime they post a UFO video, it's easily debunked without admitting they were wrong. Yeah. So then somebody writes, he's an arsehole, a jealous arse. It's super stalkerish. He's also laid into that UFO podcast guys for absolutely no reason other than they are friendly with Elizondo. Oh, are they? I need some new material. That UFO podcast. I forgot about that. He's literally doing what he accuses others of. In fact, most that he accuses aren't doing anything. See, Lou Angeles is going to the wayside. He thinks he's making friends in this field. Or making friends. But I don't think people like him. I don't think they even go there. If somebody says Lou Angeles is angry with himself because he threw to the bin everything he had built with that list of people. That's true. He's just trying not to fade to black. I prefer don't sponsor him. True. Lou Angeles, Lou Reviews, whatever you want to call that podcast. I don't see any Goofonians going there. Once in a while, I'll see somebody, but not a true Goofonian goes there and listens. I know, because I go in and check. I appreciate that. I appreciate the Goofonians not giving that channel any extra. Because you know what he did. You know why he's bad. He got in a little hissy. Got mad that nobody came to his phone home thing that he set up for a year. And then the wheels just started falling off and he decided to burn every bridge in this community. And now he's trying to come back and make like he's somebody. He gets credit for one thing. Outing Elizondo, and that's it. That's it. But that's because he was used by Elizondo and had that information handy. All right, this is now they are claiming the aliens have provided a message to our leaders. And their message is that we need to depopulate the planet and fully align with the leftist agenda. What did I effing tell you? Oh, you think I'm making this up? You think I just came up with this is all them on that side of ufology? I made that all up? Check this out. I love being right.
If you'll indulge me, I'd like to read 2 pages from advice from the extraterrestrials. Yes, it's true that we have been in contact with your government and heads of power. It is also true that it is also true that agreements have been made and kept secret from your people. It is also true that in the past, some of your people have lost their lives or have been badly hurt to protect the secret. Our hands had no part in this.
Remember, this is the aliens talking.
We contacted your leaders because your planet is in grave trouble. Your leaders said the vast majority of your population wasn't ready for anything like us yet. So we made time agreements with your leaders as to when your people would be made aware of our presence. Your air, your water are contaminated. Your forests, jungles, trees, and plant life are dying. There are several breaks in your food chain. You have an overwhelming amount of nuclear and biological weapons, which include nuclear and biological contamination. Your planet is overpopulated. Warning, it is almost to the point of being too late, unless your people act. There are better ways of deriving energy and food needs without causing your planet any damage. Those in power are aware of this and have the capability of putting these methods into worldwide use. Those in power view it as a military and security threat. That upsets.
Wait a minute. Didn't he just contradict himself? Let me go back a few seconds.
And food needs without causing your planet any damage.
Hold on.
Those in power are aware of this and have the capability of putting these methods into worldwide use.
So we have methods to clean up the planet and use these in worldwide use. Go ahead.
Those in power view it as a military and security threat.
But those in power see it as a threat?
That upset me. You mean to tell me that the people in power have the ability to save and better the planet, and they aren't doing it? Amnesty. What do you mean? Complete amnesty to those in power, governments and leaders who have been suppressing the truth, that they can't be held liable for any past wrong deeds. It is the only way these leaders can come forward with the truth. It is necessary that you do this in order to work together and survive.
Alien bless. What did I tell you? It's their agenda. And where's all this funding going to go? I wonder. You know? Is it going into some way to save the planet? Still going to need coal. Was he talking about having alien technology that can be used to clean up the planet? Ed Choufet, or Choufet. Mr. Choufet, how are you today? It's a super dono. I see you put that down 23 minutes ago. I'm sorry, I just noticed it. I think I saw it come in and I played a few videos and got late. But thank you very much. You're here just about every night, I think. Thank you for hanging out and supporting the show, man. Appreciate it. Who's this guy? It's the Isle of St. Croix, Glenn Croix himself. What's up? How you doing, man? You already threw down a few bones earlier. He's doing it again. Thanks again for the support, Mr. Croix. Glenn Croix with the $5 super dono. It's pure love here at Goof On in the early second hour of the show. Hour number 2 and 2/3. 1/3, 1/3. Thanks, Glenn. Mucho gusto generoso. My fellow Goofonians. The best. What's this, Dorothy? The newest civilian conservation corps, including all of us. Extreme Home Makeover, Planetary Edition. Why not? We can do it in, let's say, 4 years. What usually could take 48 hours is going to take 48 months. Because not only is Dorothy Hawkins overseeing a planet makeover, she's actually contacted Dr. Stephen Greer for technology to regrow limbs. Dr. Greer, come over here, you four-eyed bitch. Dr. Greer, how are you today? And he's got all 4 arms. I don't know what that means. Don't laugh. Don't encourage me. That was stupid. I reached and I went nowhere. I've got more video to play. A lot of stuff to go over. All right. This is fun. This is good right here. This is fun. This is fun. Fun tonight. James Fox, and this comes from UFO Jesus. James Fox shows his frustrations. We only care about the 5% of UFO sightings that don't have a conventional explanation. Yeah. Why would we care about the 95% that we can explain? dill hole. What is wrong with James Fox? Did he see the Varginha alien up close and then it transformed and took his soul? Something happened to him. Something happened to James Fox when he was making that movie. He's a different person the last year. I'm telling you, this guy turned into something savage. You know what it is? He's frustrated too. I appreciate that passion. James Fox is a good guy. Still on that side of ufology, but he's one of the good guys.
So here's what Kelly says about this in general. I remember one time I was flying in the warning areas off of...
Okay, Michael Shermer from Skeptic Magazine, one of the worst skeptics ever. And I mean not that smart. He looks smart, but he's not.
Virginia Beach military operating area there. And my RIO, radar intercept officer, who was in the plane with him, was convinced we flew by a UFO. I didn't see it, so we turned around and went to go look at it. It turns out it was Bart Simpson, a balloon. And Kelly adds, if you see something you know is an airplane, and you know generally how big airplanes are, you can tell relative distance. But when you have no reference points, whether it's in a plane or flying over the water, it's just really an environment that's really prone to optical illusions. And then he told the story when he was commanding the when he was commanding the space shuttle, and they had serviced the International Space Station, and now they were away from it. Anyway, his fellow astronaut said, "Oh, we left a tool and an instrument in the cargo bay. Look, you can see it floating there in the cargo bay." So they had this long discussion. Well, we got to go get it. Oh my gosh, how did this happen? And so on. And it turns out it was the International Space Station that was 80 miles away that they thought was in the cargo bay of the space shuttle. His point being, it's hard to tell what's going on, how big things are, how fast they're moving, how far away they are, and so on, when you don't have reference points. And his credentials are as good as
Can I say something, please? Because I'm boiling over with frustration right now. This is the same argument, the same nonsense that's been going on for 80 years. Okay, so the United States Air Force investigated 12,618 cases, okay? Out of which I
got to stop this for a second. Sorry. I want you to see something real quick. This guy, this is why I get frustrated on my show. You got this guy over here who's probably hosting it, right? He's clicking around, typing. You could hear everything going on. This guy looks like he's bored as hell. James Fox can't control himself. He's acting out behind, while he's talking, Shermer's talking. This guy hasn't moved an inch. And, they have to have a James Fox arrow pointing with his, come on. And that's Ryan. I don't know. It frustrates me. I like it. I want people to look like they care, look like they're awake, look like you're interested. This bothers me. This guy's got blue hair, which already triggered me as soon as I saw it. Need I say more?
701 remained unexplained, not because of a lack of data, but because of a...
All right, I know.
Out of which,
Hold on.
Investigated 12,618 cases, okay? Out of which 701 remained unexplained, not because of a lack of data, but because of a lack of any kind of conventional explanation. So what I'm saying is, yes, you are right. The vast majority of these things have a prosaic explanation. We don't give a shit about those ones. What about David Fravor? Give me an explanation to that one. What about...
No evidence. It's a story. There's no evidence. Yes, there is evidence, he would argue. And I said, did you see the evidence? Well, they showed that. Tell me what the craft looked like. Well, it's hard. It's all, it's FLIR footage. Oh, okay. So you can't tell what it is. So it could be anything, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No evidence for the Tic Tac. And I think I am the only one who doesn't believe the Tic Tac story at all. I think it's all bullshit. I do. I think it's a made up. I think maybe once, right, there was something that they saw. But I just have a hard time with Ryan Graves. Everybody else for 2 years saw them almost every day, except for him, because he looked at a monitor or a screen or something different. I don't get that. All right. David Fravor says he forgets to turn on the camera on the helmet. Really? Really? You're seeing a UFO. You're supposed to be in the top 1% of the best in the world, and you can't remember to turn on your helmet cam? Just because you saw something shimmering underwater and an object moving surprisingly fast? You're not supposed to be taken aback by that stuff, guy. You're supposed to be focused and gather information, and you failed. And I don't believe in it anyway. I think it's a story. I think they made it up. I think they created a threat narrative, and I won't back away from it because there's no evidence of anything that they saw. Zero to the public. I don't care if they have evidence, because if I don't see it, it doesn't exist. That's why the Tic Tac's fake. It's made up to give us this threat narrative. It was supposed to feed the frenzy, flying with impunity. And then they show us videos of drones and call them orbs in other parts of the world. I mean, come on. We're shooting them down all the time over, across the country. We're saving people on the ground. We're shooting at them all the time, Jeremy said back in February.
The Colonel William T. Coleman, who had an up-close, 9-minute-long encounter with a flying saucer while piloting a B-25.
Where's the video? Where's the evidence? I don't care if it was 90 minutes. No evidence.
Bomber. Explain that one to me. Like, these are the ones that...
It's just a story, Mr. Gullible. Yeah, I believe in them. I believe in a lot of UFO stories. I do. I believe in that guy. I do. But there's still... The reality is there's no evidence. And it has been known without evidence, it's hard to commit somewhat of a crime, right? Everybody says with all the evidence we've gathered, we could easily put somebody away if this was a murder trial. Really? Grainy footage, declassified flare footage. I don't know, 29 Palms, something like that. Look, people want to believe so badly. Even in our government, they'll say shit just to say it.
We care about it's 5%, 10%, and I'm sorry to be frustrated, but Michael, I get it. I get that the vast majority of these things can be explained. We don't care about those. We don't care about weather balloons. We've been hearing about weather balloons since 1947. Chinese balloons, weather balloons, misidentified aircraft, weather phenomenon. Yes, it's all there. But we're talking about a small core that just can't. And that's what we care about. And that's where we have our sights.
Look at this guy. He's picking his ear. He was vaping. I mean, he's fucked up. Look at him. This guy can't stop clickety-clacking. This guy's laughing at Shermer getting ripped apart by Fox. Good. That was great. Fox did good right there. He did say the right things for once. We don't care about the 95%. I think it's 99%. And I think 1% maybe UFO related, alien, maybe. It only takes one, though. Christopher Sharp. Ugh. Man. Isn't he the writer of Liberation Times? He says the issue is that UAP are unidentified until identified. Therefore, prosaic explanations could include Chinese espionage. The fact that the representative from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base has failed to address this topic with seriousness is very alarming. The U in UAP stands for unidentified, right? Not non-human craft. Okay. Because only few are historically true, unexplained, and display non-prosaic abilities. Just saying, the topic raises alarms. All over the world. But the evidence is weak. So the only thing I can think of until we get really good evidence shown to the public is that the whole thing is made up. It's a psyop. Yeah, there's real UFOs, of course. Of course, until they aren't. I tell this story every year. Once a year I tell this story. When I bought my camera, it had 20 times magnification optics, right? That's what I had. I still use those cameras. And I would see these objects, and my God, I was sending them in to UFO Casebook, Jeff Rents, and they were loving them. They're like, Richard, this is amazing. How come nobody else is seeing this stuff? I said, they're not looking. And then I bought the biggest and the baddest lens that changed everything for me. Overnight, everything changed. I bought this lens, $200 back then for this. This thing weighs as much as the camera. And it got me in so close that those objects turned out to be airplanes, balloons, and many balloons. There were no drones in the sky when I was doing this. That's a new problem we have. But not everything is unidentified alien objects. Because when you get close enough and you find out what these objects are, you're like humbled. You're like, oh my God. I chased this one object. We had a thunderstorm, right? And I kept seeing these silverish orbs coming out of storms. And I was recording them here and there. And me and my wife were going out to dinner one night, and we saw one of these, and it swooped down to the freeway, and we were going to be going around the bend, and it should be right around the bend. Sure enough, it was a balloon. It was a balloon. It was looking like a UFO. I don't know how the thing swooped in on the freeway, but a truck could have gone by. You know, it was a little higher, it was raised up. A gust of wind, who knows? Could have been a dust devil I didn't see. Sometimes they happen, then you don't see the dust. But we watched that object for 15 minutes. And then we kept getting closer and closer and closer. And she goes, oh my God, babe, we might see what this is. And we see it dip down and go around the bend. Balloon. It came right up at the center stone column. It came right up the side of it. It was amazing. It's a great experience. I have it on camera too. Yeah, I got the whole thing. That's why I need to get this stuff out there to show people, look, everybody makes the same mistakes. Anyway, people love Philip Corso. I can't stand him. But Philip Corso, who was ranked higher than David Grush and had higher security clearance, he told us about alien bodies and craft 25 years ago or so, right? Hell, allergies are starting to get to me. Ears are itchy. But I always thought Philip Corso was a wet-lipped fool. He just looked like a liar. When he spoke, his body language reeks of lying. He's one of the worst I've ever seen when it comes to telling his story about UFOs. The worst. He has the worst of anybody I've ever seen when it comes to telling a story. Body language. So much so I can't even do it. I'll get triggered even talking about it anymore. But he did have higher clearance and said the same things, just mentioning it. That's all. Hey, if the story was good to lie about 25 years ago, why not repackage it and get another guy to tell the story? Everybody will forget because 25 years ago, nobody's going to remember that he told that story. Don't you get it? So Dan Warren says, did you notice this undercurrent during the congressional hearing on UAPs? I didn't. I got to see what he's talking about. Let's see what good old what is this? From Jeremy Corbell.
Did you notice the overwhelming undercurrent of the...
Well, Jeremy Corbell says, excellent breakdown with an eagle eye on one important aspect of the UAP puzzle and respect for reading between the lines. All right, let's see what this is.
UFO hearing? I haven't heard anyone else talk about this, so let's dive into it. Let's start by checking out these clips and see if you can notice a pattern.
Other veterans are also coming forward to us regarding UAP encounters in our airspace and oceans.
Not just military, but also commercial aviation, because there's a lot of that going on, especially if you talk to anyone that flies from here to Hawaii. Over the Pacific, they see odd lights.
Sometimes these reports are reoccurring, with numerous recent sightings north of Hawaii and in the North Atlantic.
They were out on a test mission that day over the Gulf of Mexico.
During a training mission in Warning Area Whiskey 72, 10 miles off the coast of Virginia Beach.
All four of us, because we were in F-18Fs, so we had pilots and Wizzo in the back seat, looked down saw a white tic-tac object with a longitudinal axis pointing north-south and moving very abruptly over the water.
Do you believe that you witnessed an additional object under the water in relation to your encounter?
I will say we did not see an object. There was something there to cause the whitewater, and when we turned around, it was gone, so there was something there that obviously moved.
A large group of Boeing contractors were operating near one of the launch facilities at Vandenberg Air Force Base when they observed a very large 100-yard sided red.
So what's the undertone here? What's the undertone? These are happening off the coasts of the United States and the Gulf and the Pacific and the North Atlantic? Yeah, we know. I didn't hear any other undertones yet. That's the only undertone so far. Well, what's this now?
Square approached the base from the ocean.
You've identified these as taking place on the East Coast. Is it just on the East Coast where these encounters have been reported?
No. Since the events initially occurred, I've learned that the objects have been detected essentially where all operations, Navy operations are being conducted across the world.
Kinda sounds like the connection between UAP sightings and our oceans was on full display during the hearing, doesn't it? And if you think about it, the possibility that UAPs may originate from our...
Wow, genius. I tell you, man, you really put it all together there, big guy. Wow. Oh, the undertone, the oceans. Dan, I got to tell you, that was so obvious. I can't believe Jeremy Corbell even said, wow, great, you figured it out. How did you? Keen eye. That was the first thing I said. I think we all said that. They're only seen over the oceans. The Tic Tacs and all that shit. It's nothing new. Well, let's listen to the rest. This is why I have to listen to even Dan Warren, who I kind of respect a little.
Oceans does align with the recent shift away from the term extraterrestrial in favor of non-human intelligence. And did you notice this guy sitting in the front row? That's retired Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet, and he holds the record for the longest tenured acting administrator of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. And he's leading the charge along with a little bit of help from Chris Mellon to spearhead the global effort to put science before stigma to better understand UUPs, unidentified undersea phenomenon.
USOs aren't good enough anymore. Let's come up with another acronym. Unidentified undersea phenomenon. Come on, man. How stupid are we? There you go. I don't know what a woman is either. Shut off, Dan. That's enough laughter for tonight. I can't. It's triggering me. Unidentified undersea phenomena? What are we doing? Watching Aquaman and then going, undersea! There's a city under the sea in Aquaman. Oh, there's an undersea. UUP! They're oops! Oops! I did it again. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed right now for ufology right there. That's embarrassing. That's funny shit. This is hilarious to me. And he's proud of it. You're proud of that, Dan. I came up with unidentified undersea phenomena after watching Aquaman. And I got to say, Jamali, whatever his name is, man, he got some shape, didn't he? Don't change the subject, Dan. Unidentified undersea phenomena. Was he with the Little Mermaid too, Dan? Unbelievable. Undersea phenomena. Undersea. It's we can't just say unidentified submerged objects anymore. What does submerged mean? It could mean under the sand. Now I'm triggered. Now I got to watch this. Now we're going to watch Rose Cuckold. Let's see what this triggers me. This guy, not this guy, but you'll see. Listen to this. Rose Cuckold on the possibility of future public hearings.
Ross joins us.
But just listen to how he talks. Just listen to this fool, this sellout, this poor excuse of a man right here who looks like Putin. That's Putin. It's Ross Putin. Like Rasputin. It's Ross Putin. He looks like Putin. I know, my voice is getting higher when I get excited. He looks like a young Putin there, but old. You know, we've got these UFOs that's in the sea, under the sea. All right, let's hear.
Live now. It's always good to see you, Ross. First of all, I know you've got sources in Congress. What are your sources saying about the possibility of another UFO hearing?
Yes, well, good evening, Brian. They're concerned. At the moment, we've got great momentum with what's been achieved with the hearing. There's significant media interest, and it's refreshing and quite lovely to see the bipartisan approach being made by different politicians on both sides of the House. But what I'm hearing is that for a public hearing to take place, which is a very different proposition from the private hearings in secure or sensitive compartmented information facilities, SCIFs, that have been taking place for the last 2 years, in order for that kind of public hearing to take place, an inquisitorial hearing where people are subpoenaed, called before a public committee and asked to give evidence under oath, including, hopefully, first-hand witnesses from the legacy program, it really does require the Senate Intelligence Committee, and particularly Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, the senator from New York, to step up and heed growing public opinion on this issue.
And it wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter. Stop trying to get the politicians to make this more political, because the more you get them involved, the more corrupt it's going to be. And then people are going to say, hey, approve this. You know, I'll give you this handshake deal behind the back door, behind the house with Lou. That's what goes on behind the house with Lou. handshake deals with your anus, not the planet. I mean, your actual anus. He looks like Putin. He is, as far as I'm concerned, he's not an American. Nothing against Australians. My God, I love Australians. But he's a poor excuse of one. He's sold out. I can't watch another minute of him. I don't care if everything he says is perfect. He's a sellout, and he's dangerous. He's dangerous to ufology. Why? Don't worry about it. All right, check this out. It's been a minute since we heard something like this. This has been 4 years ago. Alex Jones was on Joe Rogan talking about aliens and UFOs. Check this out.
Tell me how the connection between aliens and the Nazis took place. When did all this start?
Let me begin. This is really, I'm telling you, Joe, this is a real deal.
I believe you.
This is, you ask, who are they? It's people who are psychically, genetically available to interface in this incredibly diverse universe with all these dimensions above and below and all around us with consciousnesses. So then they start taking their most psychic people who are able to do this and they turn their heart off. And then they put them into these events and it's like the things that aliens tell them, they come out and they tell scientists and it works. And so all the shaman, all the ancient religions, everybody says there are the good ones and there are the bad ones, and people are interfacing. So you say, where does it begin? From the Tibetans to the Mesoamericans to the Egyptians to the Druids to every ancient society describes the same thing. There are bad things that look like elves that have horns when they show you who they really are, and there are good things, but they don't contact you unless you contact them, and then they're almost not even concerned with what you're doing. So this entity system picked Germans as its attempt, even in World War I, World War II. So the Nazis, if you get into deep literature, they believed they were basically seancing and being possessed by entities. These people were running the psychology departments. They were interfacing with the occult. They were involved in all this crazy stuff, and it was all about their power and how great they were going to be, and the Germans were seduced.
Wow. Do you see that I don't know what the hell is going on? Do you see that you don't know what's going on? Do you see that what's happening with the government and everything else and all those people don't seem to be talking about what's really going on? What's really going on? Have the aliens done such a thing? Are they changing the consciousness of the planet of us? Are we about to time out and as a whole have this paradigm change where we're psychically in tune with the universe, dimensions? You know, hearing how the Germans really were seduced by this so-called demonic entity or aliens, whatever you want to use, it's really like, it makes you wonder. I mean, these are people just like you and I. mean, Hitler's, crazy, but they believed in this stuff enough to do what they did. And we've heard a lot of stories, and the famous one of Richard Byrd going to was it North Pole or South Pole, and seeing the UFOs with swastikas on the side and losing a fight with aliens and disc-shaped craft. It's a crazy story, man. I almost believe the Germans were that way, though. And I think they really were. And when World War II ended, what happened? We got all of their scientists to come over and create NASA, right? What else did we take? The knowledge that they've obtained from the aliens or demonic entities or whatever. And what I find interesting is that they were doing seances or seance-like Makes you wonder, right? My allergies, I can't get that itch. But it makes you wonder if ghosts, not even ghosts, I would say shadow people are the angry ones because they're dark, they're fast, and sometimes you see them. That's scary. That's scary. So you want to see a little bit of how crazy Whitley Strieber is? Because this was in the movie Communion. I can't play the music, but this is part of his vision. Hey, I said I can't play the music. Why'd you do that? Crazy, right? I want to show you somebody's posting this as a new sighting by NASA. This was debunked 5 years ago, I think. And it's 100% CGI. I think it's been debunked and proven. But this guy's putting it out as new and it's old.
I don't know if it's auto tracking something, and then these come into sight.
And those are fake. The whole thing's CGI.
Really close on one.
Sorry to burst everybody's bubble, but if you remember this, it was 100% fake. I just wanted to show that because that's what people are doing now. 10 years later, 5 years later, they think we don't remember, you know? And those are like the most popular UFOs of our time. Like, we're not going to remember that. Here's a few flares being thrown up as legitimate UFOs. Flares act a certain way. And if they were real UFOs, why didn't the news show up?
Oh my God, what the fuck is that? What? What is that? I'm scared.
I'm scared. What is that? No, if that was real UFO, you'd be like, Eric, come over here quick. You wouldn't be going, I'm so scared. What is that? Oh my golly. And you wouldn't put music with it.
What the hell is that? Do they even see it?
Are you videos?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you recording this? Yeah. And then the video ends. You're going to love this video. This may be the only real one ever, other than Dorothy Izat. Check this out. This is amazing. I think this is what I think it is. Hey, wait a minute. Oh, no. I thought it was the video because I saw the 316. Yeah, damn it. No video. I still have more show to do. There's Dorothy Izat. Let's go here. Oh, a little reminder. Just so you guys don't forget, I have to play this once a day, maybe twice.
Left the Department of Defense, ironically enough, to finish the very mission they gave me in the first place. I didn't ask for it. I'm not a UFO guy. I'm not a ufologist. I never have been. I never will be. I'm a counterterrorism and counterespionage guy. I do counterintelligence, counterinsurgencies. That's what I do. And it just so happens that in 2008, I was asked to apply those same skill sets into the UFO community. Left the Department of Defense, ironically enough, to finish the very mission they gave me in the first place. I didn't ask for it. I'm not a UFO guy. I'm not a ufologist. I never have been. I never.
Just a little reminder. And that's it, you know, just a little reminder. And then a little reminder to make you feel good before we go. I saw you requesting this in the chat room. Crop Circle song. It's been a month. Come on, everybody.
What are they?
What are they?
Why are they?
Why are they? What do they mean? One more time.
What are they?
What are they here?
Why are they?
Why are they here? What do they mean? What do they mean? What are they, everybody? Are they harbingers of world change?
Secrets in the field.
Secrets in the fields. Are they harbingers of world change? Secrets in the fields. Are they harbingers of world change? Secrets in the fields. Secrets in the field.
What are they? Why are they? Do they mean?
What do they mean? Are they harbingers of world change? The secret in the fear. All right, that's enough. What's that? Oh no! It is time to go. I can't believe this night just passed by so quickly. Whoa. I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight here on Goof On. We will be back mañana. That's tomorrow for those of you who don't speak Spanish. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on YouTube. Thank you, moderators and super chatters. Hey, Nathan threw down $2.22 on PayPal, and he says, come on, Richie, give Dan a break. Remember who he's talking to. The muggles are clueless, so Dan has to give it to them easy. English! All over the spoon-fed general public. Thank you. Well said. Thanks for the 222 as well, my friend. Nathan from The Quantum Show. 10 o'clock Saturday nights, 10 p.m. And we'll be back tomorrow, like I said. Thank you, newcomers and veterans. Thanks for giving the show a little pizzazz. The chat room's the best in the biz. Doesn't get any better than Goof On. And what else? That's it. Be safe. All right. Be kind. And what else? Alien bus. We say alien bus. No, but I didn't do that. See? I tried talking a different way. Oh! Truthology for ufology for you. Now it's time to go. Be safe. Be kind. And alien bless ya.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.
Control life.